Welcome back to Ozarks Tonight. Well, just days have passed since a gunman opened fire at the West Freeway Church of Christ in Texas, killing 2 people. But the situation could have been much worse. The head of the church's security team was able to pull out his weapon and neutralize the gunman just seconds after that shooting began, potentially saving countless lives. Matt Combs is the president of Shield Force International, and he trains church security teams to be prepared for situations just like this. He joins us in the studio tonight to talk a little bit more about the incident and your training of these security teams. Matt, thanks for being in here. When you hear about a situation like this and you see the video, what jumps out to you?
Yeah, well, first, thanks for having me here. I'm glad to do it. Glad to increase the awareness on the topic. When I first saw the video, or even when I first heard about it, I'm saddened every time I hear about a shooting, especially one that claims the lives of innocent people. This was a unique shooting because we have a video, so we get to see it from a different light and get to dissect it from a training perspective. I think the biggest thing that it shows us is the value of having trained people on site, ready to respond to these types of violent events. We had a quick response. Unfortunately, we still lost 2 security members that weren't able to produce their weapon in time, but we quickly mitigated the threat. And so that's the difference between having 2 lost lives and like 26 like we had in Sutherland Springs, Texas a couple years ago.
Definitely, and it only took 6 seconds after the gunman initially pulled his weapon for him to be neutralized. So definitely a quick response there. So you go around the country training members of churches and their security teams to be prepared for a situation like this. So when you're meeting with a new church, what are the steps you go through to make sure they're prepared for a situation like this?
Sure. So the first thing we like to do is do a threat assessment with that organization, with that church. And so we'll evaluate any security procedures that they currently have, if any. We look at their organization, the demographics of their location, how many members they have, and we'll do a complete threat assessment with a comprehensive report. From there, we begin to build a training program that meets their specific needs. And so we train those individuals. It's everything from armed security, active shooter response. Where we differ a little bit from other companies is we really focus on training with the mind and precursor behavior. So early warning signs, those pre-assault indicators, what do we look for? A lot of trainers tell people just look around at your surroundings, pay attention. Well, what does that specifically mean? And what do we specifically look for? And can we start to prevent some of those things? Can we identify those threats? So like the video we saw this last week at the shooting in Texas, the security team mentioned that they noticed he was wearing a fake mustache, fake wig, that he had caught their attention. And so it's very, very important that when we see an individual that just doesn't look right, that we don't just wait to be reactive, because action is always faster than reaction. So when we see someone that doesn't look right, someone that draws our attention, there's certain steps on how we approach that individual that we have to do. Simply just waiting for the explosion to go off and trying to react to it is not always the most advantageous thing to do.
So what are some of the things that, if you were in that situation and you noticed somebody that may be looking a little suspicious, maybe standing off to the side, wearing a mustache or whatever this gentleman was wearing before he opened fire, what would be some of the things that would be going through your mind when you saw that individual walk in?
Yeah, so I want to know why, and the only way to really understand that individual's intentions is to go and greet them. One core thing that's very important to note with training churches, we have to be careful we don't jeopardize the core mission of the church. We don't want to be so over-aggressive that we push away people that are coming to, give their life to Christ and learn and worship. We don't want to be Fort Knox. But what we do want to do in that situation is have strength in numbers. So that's why we have a team approach. We want to have more than one individual go up and greet that person, talk to them, ask them some questions, see what their behavior is like. Ideally, we're going to try to get them out into the foyer area, away from the sanctuary, and definitely away from the children's area. So that when we start to talk and have that verbal dialogue, if he decides he's going to produce a weapon and start shooting, he's away from the mass congregation of people. And that's ideally what we're trying to do. We're trying to talk to them and bring them away from the congregation, not letting that happen.
What has the response been over the last few years for your group since you started your company? Has there been lots of churches that have reached out, concerned, and wanted to get trained just in case something like this happens?
Absolutely. So starting back in 2017, when the Sutherland Springs, Texas church shooting happened, I did a seminar about a month after that, and I wasn't sure how many people were going to show up. We had over 500 people from dozens and dozens of different churches around the area show up and attend. And since then, it's become way more common that churches are having this conversation and they're starting those security teams. So as far as my business, we have been extremely busy. We've had a lot of growth over the last 3 years in training churches. We've had requests from all over the country, not just here locally. And I'm glad to see that churches are starting to take that personal responsibility to be proactive. We love our people, we love our members, we love our guests, and it's morally, ethically, and biblically the right thing to do in today's world, I believe.
For sure. And you said that if you could be worked out of a job, you wouldn't mind that, knowing that a lot of people are trained to handle these situations.
Absolutely.
Just talk about, if people want to learn more about your group, how can they do that?
Sure. So they can contact us. Our website is novictimshere.com. What that means, a lot of people ask us, is through training and education before something bad happens to you, the goal is to stand up and say no victims here. So our website's novictimshere.com. They can reach out to us. We have over a dozen different training classes specifically for churches. Really the first thing is we do a free consultation. We want to make sure that our training is beneficial to their organization. And when we can talk about their needs and what we can provide, usually we have something we can do and work out and schedule.
All right, Matt, I want to thank you so much for coming in today, shedding some light on this topic.
All right, thank you so much. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. We'll be back with more right after this.